Good evening and welcome back to my Dwarven Fortress of Esmulrakust, which I can find on one of my virtual desktops, all of which have been permuted by plugging in the television. Uh, so it is mid-spring and we have had a fairly peaceful spring so far. We'll get back to that in a moment. In that no one has attempted to invade and we've just had two elven caravans which have provided us with a quantity of fruit which we really could do with turning into booze. Somewhere I need to find the button that, I could find it like this, couldn't I, that makes my mouse pointer bigger. That's the button in question, right. So yes, we're a bit short on booze, but it's not too much of a problem. I did notice that we are out of spare bedrooms again, so I should organise some more bedrooms. I've also just noticed that we do appear to have some slight flooding down here, which is caused by having dug into an area where there's an aquifer. So we probably want to wall that in again. Simplest would probably just be to put a wall across here, but we'd need to get those white jades out first. Also, why is there troll blood on the wall? Or we could hope that just filling in a bit of the wall will cause it to stop leaking, but I'm suspicious that the entire... we dug that out because there were some convenient gems, but I think we might just need to wall it back in again once the gems are tidied up. It'll be fine. It's not leaking very much. It's not going to flood the entire fortress, probably. Right. Hello. Can you actually unpause? Yes, good. So let's look at the bedroom situation. We have a new layer of bedrooms down here. Why is my computer being sluggish already? Oh, because it's set to don't have any CPU performance, isn't it? Let's set it into go gratuitously whoosh mode, and then it'll just start warming my knees up a bit. Right, so yes, this Z level we've only just started digging out new bedrooms in, but those ones are now occupied, so maybe we should dig out a couple more. I think the idea is that it should be exactly the same as the Z level above, so then that way I won't get confused. So that would mean a door there, bedroom there. That one's kind of inconvenient. We'll have to put some walls in for that one, there and there. So I suppose while we're in the area, let's see if we can... we've only got 2 porcelain bricks at the moment. Well, we can at least put that bit of wall in place. And then we can see what happens next. Pinkbee suggests that the sea might be coming to say hello to us, but it's doing so very slowly and only seeping through the floor, so we'll probably be okay. Good, I hope it wasn't an important mandate. Right, so that's those 2 walls in place. We're going to want at some point to put a wall in down here as well, but that can wait a bit at least. Wonder if we've got any beds or indeed any doors. Let's quickly check if those white jades have been tidied up. They still haven't. That's weird. Are we short of... do we have... What's going on with our gem situation? Do we have so many rough gems now? We do have quite a lot of rough gems, it's true. Okay. Okay. Have we screwed things up somehow whereby no one's actually doing any jewellery? Right, that would explain things. Yes. What's happened there? I mean, you appear to be good at everything, which is perhaps a little inconvenient. Let's at least get a good gem cutter involved. Right. This will now deal with this backlog of gem incrustations. Probably. Right, that's better. Now we're actually encrusting a door with cushion cut pink tourmalines, which I'm sure will improve matters. Sorry, I have to write a slightly fiddly message before I reconfigure things. Right, I've now migrated my IRC to somewhere where I don't have a Hangul keyboard layout. Right, so that's now getting some gems cut, which should mean that someone will collect the gems from down here, which means that we can build a wall to keep the water out of that bedroom. Not that I think, as far as I know, dwarves don't actually mind their bedrooms being a bit wet. Like, as long as they're not busy drowning in them. Stop. Well, I was going to say stop nicking stuff to the Kias, but really I don't care. I mean, I hope this is a moderately decorated door, even though we apparently haven't been encrusting things with gems for ages. Yes, it is notable that there are no gems on that. Well, let's install a bed. Actually, no, we should probably smooth things first, shouldn't we? At the very least. Before we put the bed on, because I don't think you can smooth the floor under beds. So it would be helpful to smooth the floor first and then then put a bed in place. Plus this will give the dwarves at least a bit of a chance to encrust any spare beds with... We only got one bed there. That might not be enough beds. Have a look in the stockpiles, Ben. Beds, 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 beds. Yes, we have one spare bed at the moment. Let us construct some more beds. No, not like that. Like that. Yes, the alcohol situation is a bit unfortunate. We have bought some fruit from the elves, so that should help. Let's just check that we haven't accidentally arranged that there are no brewers or something stupid. I think we did have a brief period of no brewers, which did cause some trouble. But we do have 2 brewers set up now. Actually, a great brewer is probably reasonable to get working on it too. Where's the still? It's that thing, isn't it? that 2 tasks just being cancelled? No. Oh no, I've accidentally ended up looking at the loom instead. Right, so there is someone actually doing the task of brewing a drink, allegedly. It's the mayor who I just assigned to that job. Yes, that's more or less accurate. I think I may have misspelt it. I think I may have intended to say hello, Steph, and accidentally said glasses, Steph. But I'm not sure. Let me have a look at my other IRC window, which is lurking somewhere behind all of these other things, I think. No, I did spell it right. So, of course, the name Steph is not actually writable in Korean. So it actually says Stepa. Right, so we are brewing. Someone here is immediately drinking from the booze in the still rather than like...
Is that a symptom of there not being enough booze in the fortress, or just...
I think it might just... I think it might just be a symptom of the preferred booze possibly being in there. Like that can happen as well. So that suggests we're out of lye, which is slightly confusing. Because I thought I had scheduled making as many bars of soap as we had lye, but I presume we're now okay for soap. Like we were down to about 5 bars or something when I started ordering in extra lye. Yes, we now have 79 bars of leopard soap. So that should help us. No, still haven't collected those jades. Has someone come down here and smoothed these bedrooms yet? No. Are we short of people set up to do that task as well? I think it's a stonecutter job. Yeah, we have a bit of a shortage of stonecutters too. Let's drag in a couple of fairly random people. I was just wondering, yeah, there's some... No, you're also a miner. Maybe we don't need to make you a stonecutter as well. I don't know. I suppose I mostly just need to look at what other tasks whatever other labours they have assigned. You want to choose. What are you doing? Oh, yes, you're smoothing that wall from the outside. Okay, that's reasonable. It's going to take you a while because you're new at this, but that's fine. Right, so that will eventually produce... Oh, right, the elves have turned up. Possibly there's only one of them, but I suspect otherwise. So I kind of think for safety, I should treat this as a full-blown siege, even if officially it isn't one.
I mean, if there's one elf you can see, then there's probably a fifth column already
Yes.
stuck in.
So we will reorganise things. Oh, I never turned them off. Right, okay, that's fine. We should then close that one. Oh, and the wagon bridge, that's the important one, isn't it? Yes. And possibly raise a drawbridge, but we should probably wait until people are inside before we do that. Allow the single water buffalo calf to leave its pasture. That's approximately all the controls I want. We don't yet have any hounds to release, plus we don't want to do that yet. So how many elves do we know about so far then? One. One elf recruit who is a novice organizer and various kinds of dabbling. But as expected, we've just spotted a couple of war leopards approaching the fortress. So we're now at 1 elf and 5 leopards, and I suspect it's only going to increase. So I'm going to have a look around and see what our dwarves outside the fortress situation looks like. Looks pretty quiet out there. Haven't spotted any in inconvenient places. Are they burying anyone? I don't think they are, because no one's died lately. So no, I think there may actually be no one outside the fortress right now. Which admittedly does lead to the question of how we discovered these guys, but that's what the water buffalo was doing, of course. Yes, I think the water buffalo spotted them. I think animals can perfectly well see ambushes, so it's not completely implausible.
I mean, I don't doubt that water buffaloes can see elves. It's how they communicate it back to you.
They made a noise, or something. I don't know what noise a water buffalo makes.
Sploosh.
I mean, admittedly, here is a dwarf who is possibly about to get into trouble. See which? Oh no, they're coming in. They're dragging a cat in. And now we've spotted another ambush with a couple of elves on horseback. Yes, it's possible that this dwarf is about to have a rather exciting experience as that drawbridge opens underneath them. Was that a couple of passing? No, it probably wasn't a couple of passing crossbow bolts, but I thought it might be. What? This elf is already right now. Has already made it to our front entrance. Possibly that was a couple of crossbow bolts missing the elf horse bod. Now would be an excellent time for that bridge to open. Well, I'm not going to complain. The cat is just barely off one edge of the bridge. The elf is now airborne, as is their horse, and about to fall into a big pile of weapon traps, mostly filled with elven weapons, just as a siege operator is like 3 paces from the bolt thrower. Thud. Right. That's quite an impressive amount of combat log for one step, for one time step applied to one elf. So their hemp tunic was pretty good at defending them from crashing into the floor. Unfortunately, they crashed into a trap. Hello, hope you didn't need that body. Yeah, I can imagine that you're a bit scared. Sorry, horse, but you were there. I appreciate you're not actually dangerous, but there was an elf on top of you. So yes, very brave elf. Came charging into the fortress and is now in rather severe danger of getting killed as a result, because, well, being the first person into the fortress will do that to you. To be fair, entering this fortress at all as a hostile elf will do that to you. You haven't actually got successfully shot yet. But I think you are possibly unconscious, I'm not sure. Here's another elf having a look around. It's okay, we don't actually have anyone staffing the outer bolt throwers yet, which is why they're getting in easily. Right, you arrived just in time to see another elf die. Sorry. And now, well, you're going to get shot just as soon as we've dealt with the horse you rode in on. See? I feel kind of sorry for these elves. Like, you've done pretty well, and now you've passed out, and the operator of that siege engine is too polite to shoot someone who's passed out. Right, so we found, not unexpectedly, another bunch of elves out there. Slightly worried about the bookkeeper. Who's that? Oh dear, someone was outside. Well, yes, you're probably not going to live. Sorry. You're being mauled by several leopards. Sorry, I'm amused by the way that one elf determinedly stomped into the fortress, trailing blood behind them. Trailing quite a lot of blood. Believe me, it's not going to be much more fun in here. See? Well, I mean, they're doing their best to, like, mob us. That's a pretty decent quantity of elves coming in. Oh, I should have locked these doors, shouldn't I? Well, we'll lock that one at least. Oh, and now the goblins turn up. Right, well, now it's going to get interesting. Oh, my IRC laptop has just expired. Possibly it's not plugged into the mains at the moment. That would kind of explain it, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's find this plug and plug that in. Yeah. Right, well, I can't now see what anyone's saying about me. This is the point at which David will say that I have a face like a squashed tomato. Yeah, Gareth points out that a vile force of darkness has arrived, so obviously I can't see what anyone's saying about me.
I notice that usually these announcements of the viral force of darkness mention that the commander is competent. And this one, by omission, implies that the
Yes, the Monera Tribadord, or whatever their name is not described as competent. Let's have a look.
Pink Beast would like to correct you. It is canonically a squished tomato.
Okay, sorry. I think we can't yet see our Monera commander. Right, so I wonder if the elves and the goblins are at war with one another, which might be entertaining.
That reminds me. I saw someone tell a joke on Twitch chat that was not an especially good joke, but it amused me particularly. Which said, "What noise does a pterodactyl make when it urinates?"
Let's get...
And you go, hang on, well, I can think what you might say. What was their answer? They're off and done because it's got a sort of
Let's get...
I know you going very, very loudly.
Let's summon one of my squads to somewhere a reasonable distance from the where the elves are actually going to come in. Hope that they don't try to leave. Though it shouldn't be able to, of course.
I know you've quit EOF from client.
So, yeah, thank you. I know. So yes, I'm now slightly concerned because, of course, these guys are bowmen. So our siege operator is going to be in danger of getting shot. What are you wearing, siege operator? I might take you off this task if you're not adequately armoured. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Turn Lolok Shigos. Are you not a member of the Syrups of Starting? Possibly not. Possibly because you're unhappy. I'm going to pull you back into the Syrups of Starting, which should get you sensible armour. And temporarily, and this may cause trouble, but I think it's better than having someone get killed. Temporarily remove you from filling that bolt thrower. So that ideally, indeed, I'll take you off bolt thrower or siege operation entirely to be on the safe side. So I think we would prefer you to be somewhere else. Yes, the elves might be able to get out, but we've got plenty of people at the other end with weapons. Let's see if the goblin commander has turned up yet. I think that was the commander. Yeah, I mean, they are an adequate organiser, which might be useful, but... What do you want me to construct, you weird mare? Oh, only bracelets. Well, we'll make some bracelets then. Bracelets. Bracelets. Where should we make bracelets? Here, make me 2 bone bracelets, please. Right, so those, at least one of those bolt throwers is operational. And like the elves down here, while problematic, will probably take a little while. I think actually doing that makes it broadly impossible for them to get in, which is probably good enough for now. While we change over who... Oh, I should probably not do it right now, but I did have the idea that I could reorganise this corridor so that there is never a line of sight from the civilian end to the immense quantity of elven death end. So it looks like the goblins are not yet involved in any fighting. Because they're still a little way away. Mostly, I think, because they're a fair distance from the entrance to the fortress yet. At some point, they're going to come across the elves, and then they need to. Then we'll find out whether they are hostile to one another. Oh, an ambush cursed them indicates it's not the elves that have ambushed us, but the goblins this time. Don't think it matters a lot. One of the changes in the new version that I didn't deploy because I thought I should actually start this stream is that I think these messages get a zoom to event, zoom to location thing. Have you just destroyed the floor hatch over the rubbish dump? Well, yes, that's really going to help you. It's not going to help you at all. It will just mean you have an opportunity to fall into the rubbish dump. Sorry, trash compactor. I am now worried about what you're wearing. Right, you're properly armoured. So while you are getting a bit shot, or at least a bit shot at, my hope is, yes, that you are able to do something about it. How did you improve your hammer skill? You've been deflecting arrows with your hammer or something. I recommend using your shield, that's what it's for. I mean, mostly you do seem to be doing a pretty good job of deflecting these arrows with your shield, while simultaneously loading a bolt thrower. I hope someone will turn up and operate the other bolt thrower, and thus provide you with like some cover. Okay, there are some goblins getting involved now. Let's see who they're getting involved with. Goblin jumping away from a wooden arrow. That does rather look like the goblins and the elves are, yes, fighting one another down here.
Like the dwarves.
Actually, I think I should just unpause because the sheer quantity of projectiles going back and forth looks like it could be quite impressive here. Yes. That's quite a lot of arrows. Well, that reduces the number of arrows that the elves will have for us. Oh, but you're only a swords elf. You're probably going to have a very unhappy time of it because you can't even attack anyone. I mean, yes, you are a skilled swordsman, but... Oh, well, you found a way into a completely useless section of the fortress, I suppose. Lot of like ranged skirmishy stuff going on out here. But here we have some elves who've turned up with swords, and unlike the dwarves, who are not easily accessible when you've got a sword, the goblins can be found. So what is this goblin up to? Oh right, they're unconscious, that's why they're not fighting back. Right, okay, also an elven swordmaster, quite scary. If, like, you're foolish enough as to get into melee combat with them.
I suppose if you can effectively kill people with a blunt wooden sword, you must be quite good at it.
I think they're quite sharp wooden swords. Simon suggests that if you can kill someone with a blunt wooden sword, you must be quite good at it. But yeah, I think the elves are quite good at sharpening their wooden swords. Yeah, people keep getting interrupted in the middle of their brewing jobs because they can see through this door. We should definitely fix that. I mean, I think they can only see through the door when it's open, but occasionally they will dodge in into that door in order to get somewhere. I don't think there are any... Oh no, there is just about a horse left alive in the Barbican. At some point we'll get someone else operating that bolt thrower. I hope. Why is someone still loading the practice bolt thrower? Stop it. Stop. The practice bolt thrower is not to be loaded. The practice bolt thrower should be set to ignore. Let's find the practice bolt thrower and see if we can... yes, it's set to not in use. I recommend instead you go and operate one of the useful bolt throwers. I think this elf is now firing out of the fortress and now dying. So we're still discovering new elves out there. And the occasional goblin. That one just leapt off the hillside in order to try to escape from our bolt thrower. There are a lot of elves and goblins busy dying outside the fortress. Oh, I should probably close part of the drawbridge so that there are more opportunities to fall into the moat, shouldn't I? Yes, people will cancel attempts at delivering things to these bins because when they pop their head up the staircase they go, there's goblins out there, I'm not going up there. But that gets the crossbow bolts reasonably close at least. Right, we have now opened that and hence dropped at least a small number of elves down a hole. Yes, I'm fairly sure that those shots are from an elf attacking some goblins. They've decided to descend into the moat, which seems a strange thing to do deliberately. Ah, there's a goblin down there, right, yes. Well, going down into the moat for the purpose of killing goblins. I think the goblin may be unconscious. Right, the goblin at the bottom of the moat has now been dealt with, and so our elf swordsman is climbing back out of the moat. Meanwhile, a bunch of new elves have decided to try to enter the fortress. Unfortunately, it looks like we still don't have anyone staffing that bolt thrower. No, no one is now crewing any bolt thrower. What? Oh, were they all trying to do things? Possibly, yes. Possibly. Have I gone and foolishly stuck them into the buttery brunch or something? So that now... let's put them all back into the syrups of starting, though. Then they're going to discover they haven't got any of the right armour. Um, that might help. Eventually. They may spend a little while going, where are my clothes? As dwarves tend to do. Happily, the weapon traps never get confused or depressed. Also, I've closed the only way for them to get... They should be able to climb, to be fair, to get in. But right now they're busy repeatedly dodging things. Like, they can be pretty good at dodging the traps repeatedly. This is this sword master attacking a goblin, but later they just spend all their time dodging weapon traps. Ah, someone has turned up to load the bolt thrower, though. So you don't have much time to spend playing with the traps. Oh. Oops. Oh, right, you are, I think, the person we were expecting to die quite some time ago.
What are you doing there?
Yeah, that's a very good... Simon asks, what were they doing there? Very good question. So for now, the elves have an easy time of it. Because until this bolt thrower is loaded, they only have to deal with the traps. Right, well, that fairly rapidly dealt with any remaining elves in the Barbican. The siege is now officially over. Triumph after the forces of the washed flies were defeated by Atfield tombs. Right, yes, I noticed that it is not specified by whom the forces of the washed flies were defeated. The washed flies just turned up and got defeated by, well, everyone around, really. There are still, unfortunately, plenty of elves left. I think I may need to make it possible for the elves to get into the fortress a bit more. So I think they're not, unless they're leaving. Okay, you seem to be leaving. Maybe the elves are also bailing out. It's just taking them a little longer. Oh yes, there are almost none of them left now. Okay, right. If we wait a little while. We will see them all go. You're our last elf, I think. Right. So we now don't have any invaders left on the map. One dwarf died because they were in the wrong place. And now we can start reassembling things vaguely. So pause that burrow. We can discover that, unsurprisingly, our unfortunate water buffalo is no more.
It has dried up.
Yes. One dead elf has fallen into the former dog kennel. We don't have a way to get it out. That's an unfortunate oversight in my design. Oh well, it can just rot there for now. People are going to get upset seeing a dead elf there, though, aren't they? Let us carve a downward ramp so that we can get that out and then put some floor over it to stop it happening again. There are some levers to operate, aren't there? And then we are going to want to start dumping lots of corpses again, as is traditional. Essentially anything that says corpse, really. Good night, Simon. Just that now we have both elf corpses and goblin corpses to dispose of. Because they came here and went and had a fight on our map and left all their bodies lying around. Couldn't you, like, send someone out to come and set up a cemetery or something? Actually, I should try to avoid accidentally dumping the leopard corpses, because those are probably worth butchering. Not bothered about horses, they're not very valuable. So that's a leopard. We'll save the leopards. Don't think a water buffalo is worth worrying about, though. So at least this was a nice quick pair of sieges, so that the no one seems to have started rotting yet. Oh, and we should enable the outer garbage dump, shouldn't we? Oh, I wonder if I can search for corpse. I mean, I'm not going to do it now because we're almost at the bottom of the list. But that might make it quicker. Does that search then mean that I don't get skeletons? No, it doesn't. Okay, that's unhelpful. Right. Oh, unpause the rubbish dump out here. No point in keeping spare teeth. That's all the levers pulled. So now the dwarves can set to with the rather tedious task of dumping everything at least I think they can. And all being well, most of the dead will be out here and could just be dropped down this hole. Without the need for very much ceremony. What? We've got the Forgotten Beast. The Forgotten Beast Gosmex Lustotten Goggo Acusum has come. A great quadruped composed of crystal glass. It has a short trunk and it undulates rhythmically. Beware its deadly dust. Or otherwise known as Gosm Sex Dive Mind, the Ooze of Oars, which is a pretty good name. Well, okay. Let's just try to encourage people not to be in the caverns, just in case they are in the caverns. And let's reconfigure the siege engines again. And the siege operators again. There's a slight danger, of course, that deadly dust will actually be a problem. So we'll seal off the inside of the fortress at the bottom in the hope that those dogs will be enough to tempt our forgotten beast in. It's quite a fast forgotten beast, and crystal glass is probably going to take at least a little bit of breaking. Plus I am a bit worried about this deadly dust. Yes, okay, you're allowed to name your axe if you want to. Oh, there's a Z level 7 has I found, oh yeah, there's quite a lot of these strange volcanic walls down here. I think we're in the middle, the second layer of caverns, which is part of why there's so much interesting stuff down here. I'm sure the forgotten beast will eventually, yes, find our means of access into the upper caverns. All being well, it won't find some dwarves randomly wandering around up here. Certainly doesn't look like it's doing so. It's heading in more or less the direction I would expect for moving towards the fortress entrance. What are you doing there? Nothing. But I bet you're now locked out of the fortress because you weren't meant to be there. Right, well that's going to be fun. Hopefully you'll flee from this forgotten beast. And it will then get shot repeatedly. And we'll be okay. Well, maybe you won't be bored soon. Where's the forgotten beast gone? Oh, is it there? Oh, right, yes. It's breathing deadly dust. And missing the administrator who, if they are a sensible administrator, will run away. Yes, good, thank you. Yes, yes, withdrawal is precisely the right thing to do. Forgotten beast is caught in a cloud of its own extract. Dust. Which is like... Well, yes, I don't think caught is really the word you want it here. Right, all being well, our siege operators have spotted it. Yes. Happily, it's not a very good fighter, and so our foolish administrator Sazir may get away with this. Our foolish administrator Sazir, who has a battle axe, who has a steel battle axe, stands quite a good chance of getting away with this. Or dying of deadly dust. Not yet covered in dust, so you might be okay. Yeah, I think crystal glass is not the best thing to make a forgotten beast out of. I think this is... what we are learning here. You're breaking bits off it reasonably effectively. Right, it has been cloven asunder. So it's good news. The forgotten beast's upper body has been cloven asunder. Bad news. There is an enormous amount of this deadly dust lying around. So I am slightly concerned that this might cause it looks as though the forgotten beast kind of exploded when it was destroyed. And people who have been near it have coatings of dust on them. Right, well, let's have... Let's temporarily not let the dwarves back into the caverns. Because I want to allow those who have been contaminated with the dust to see how bad it is. Do we now have a spare bedroom because someone has died? Yes, excellent. We can get away with putting off building new bedrooms for a bit longer. Actually, I'm going to come down here and, at least as a temporary measure, rename, give everyone who has encountered the deadly dust the nickname Dusty. That way, if it turns out that this is rapidly fatal, okay, apparently that doesn't quite work. So they seem fine for now. And all being well, they'll go and have a bath. And then everything will be fine. Unconscious. Which one was that I was following? Anyway, Udosmosis, unconscious. Dusty Kilobmat, unconscious. Dusty Enshalmafol, unconscious. Also, I should release the squad that's currently stationed in the corridor. Two stray guard dogs, unconscious. So yes, this has at the very least caused mass unconsciousness among my dwarves. If we're lucky, it doesn't then lead to death. But, and then spontaneously injured. Diagnosis required. Well, hopefully that'll get them right. I think, actually, can we have a look at them? I wonder if we want to get the yeah, right, you're doing a rest task, which means you are actually trying to, you don't have any description, but I think we might want to allow I'm kind of uncertain. Do we let someone come and retrieve the unconscious administrator in the hope that we can clean them up and maybe whatever injuries they're getting we can fix? Like, are they suffering from catastrophic internal bleeding? Or will that just move the contamination around? I think we let them in and see what happens. Because I don't know how far the contamination can spread. So let's find out. This might be a bit brave. But on the other hand, heavy bleeding. And dead. Okay, we're not going to open that door then, just yet. Is someone doing a... Oh, we can release the bolt throwers. Oh, we have done, right. No, we haven't. No one is yet bringing these two to the hospital, but I suspect they don't have very long to live anyway. Yes, they're also suffering from serious bleeding. Basically anywhere that they've got the dust on them. It's like eaten through their skin. Right, all dead. I think we might need some more tombs. I'm going to pay some attention to who picks them up. Right, so there is a task for that. And not for that. They are, notably, their corpses are still covered in forgotten beast extract. I presume the dogs died. Yes. So here is someone burying one of our victims. And they don't seem to be covered in dust. So I am hopeful that even though they're carrying a dusty corpse, and notably their gloves, which you might think would be the most likely things to cause to get dust on them, don't appear to have any dust on them either. So I am hopeful that the people who bury these corpses will not end up dying of the same problem. Rain will probably help. Oh, the corpse doesn't seem to be getting wet, curiously, even though it's being carried up a hill in the rain. It's quite a long way to the top of the hill. Especially since, for reasons currently escaping understanding, the entrance to the tomb is on the back side of the hill. I'm going to watch you for a little while and check that you don't fall unconscious or start bleeding. If you don't, then I'm going to assume we can actually safely clean up the consequences of this incident. Like the others barely made, just about made it up to the top of the fortress, so it's clearly the case that it's a fairly rapid acting poison. Yeah, okay, I think this is not, that handling the bodies of those who have died of deadly dust is not dangerous. So I think I can safely open the lower barbican and retrieve the body of the person who has died and of the two dogs. And indeed of the forgotten beast itself. I think to be on the safe side, I'm also going to dump those two crossbow bolts which have got covered in dust, and that any other objects, including like rocks and such. So I think the bolt thrower itself is okay. Doesn't look like it has any dust on it. Yes, that was quite fatal. Was indeed deadly dust. Yes, we expected the guard dogs to be found dead, and we expect the administrator out there to be found dead. That's fine. Didn't we just get that one? So I think there are some people down here to clean up, which is good. So I don't know quite what's happened to the dust. It might all be safe. Those unconscious messages are fine. They're both from people who we expect to have a dust problem. Well, a few bits of creatures around here that probably want disposing of. So I didn't actually do the body parts. And of course, even if we didn't dismember people lots, the elves would have done so to the goblins and vice versa. Get there in the end. Mute staff. That's probably not one of the things I desperately needed to get rid of, but it's probably also not a thing I need to get rid of, but let's do it anyway. It's a lot of body parts. Right. Yet more dumping to do. Yes, yes, we've just deliberately destroyed some crossbow bolts because they were contaminated. I think that was the right thing to do. I am particularly now looking out for cancelling jobs due to unconsciousness. But it is, on the other hand, 20 to 1 in the morning, so probably I should stop quite soon. No one seems to be burying anyone now. Oh no, there is someone, yes. But notably, again, the person doing the burying doesn't seem to have been rendered covered in dust by this, so I think I'm hopeful that the Forgotten Beast extract will now be mostly rendered safe. But we can't see any of it down here, and no one else has died, or as far as I can tell, fallen unconscious, so I think we're all right. Plus we now have some spare bedrooms. Not many, mind, but some. Right, so that was an entertaining Forgotten Beast. The Forgotten Beast was much more dangerous than the simultaneous elven and goblin attack on the fortress. But that's not very surprising because it covered everyone in deadly dust. Well, that's amusing. I just unplugged the cable that connects me to the television and my screen turned upside down. Right, back the right way up again now. So yes, I think that is a reasonable time to stop for the night, because we are now not even mostly cleaning up. We've actually done quite a lot of the cleaning up. There's not many dump item tasks going now because we can do them quite fast. We don't have to drag every piece of goblin into the fortress. So I think it's time to stop for the night, and we might be back on Sunday, or we might not, depending on whether someone else is playing Blueprints instead. But until whenever it is, I will save and say good night. Good night.